Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Tiki back at it again, and today we've got a little load running to Lebanon, Oregon. So a little bit about the load that we got today. This morning I took a load from Lakewood and dropped it off in Lacey, which is about a 20-minute drive on the freeway. It was one of those close local loads that I was telling you guys about in the last video. And then afterwards I grabbed an empty from Lacey and headed down to the port of Tacoma to get loaded from a container. So this was my first time getting loaded from a container. I had to back up against the container, and a party of people just pretty much moved everything from the container over to my dry van. But anyway, we've got 22,000 pounds in the box, and it looks like we've got an abundance of like outdoor stove griddles. That's what it looks like, at least. I wasn't sure, I didn't really look too hard at it. And so this load's coming from a container in the port of Tacoma, and we're headed to Lowe's in Lebanon, Oregon, to the distribution center out there to get these griddles put out to the stores in Oregon, I suppose. So I know I said that I was pretty much doing local work, and by local, all of our accounts in Washington State, and I do a little here and there going to Oregon. So right now from the port of Tacoma, it was about 4 hours and 20 minutes away where we have to drive, so it's not too far. I'm still getting my my local flat rate. It's not too bad. I did a load in the morning, and then I did this load, and I think I'm hauling a trailer up from Albany, and it's gonna get live unloaded tomorrow in Auburn. Because typically when I'm down in the Salem area or the Lebanon area, I always get a loaded trailer from a Target distribution center out in Albany, Oregon. And whenever I pick up from there, it always ends up being a live unload in Auburn, Washington. So it looks like we're gonna be a little busy for today and tomorrow. Not so much today. Today we're just gonna be doing a little bit of driving, and then tomorrow we gotta cross our T's and dot our I's and get to this live unload. So now I love doing local runs. They're a lot easier than doing cross-country runs or like regional OTR runs and stuff, I personally think, because I don't have to plan at all. I don't have to trip plan. I just do like last minute calculations for the last load of the day. Like if they dispatch me somewhere, like for example, I got 9 hours left on my drive clock, and this drive is 4 hours and 20 minutes away. If I only had about 8 hours or even 8.5, I wouldn't have made it back home. And that's where my duty would be, to reach out to dispatch and let them know like, yo, if I take this load, I'm not making it home. Just giving you guys a heads up. And I'll be completely honest, I really don't think we're gonna make it back home at all. Because if I'm dropping off in Lebanon and picking up in Albany, that's gonna be another hour travel between Lebanon and Albany. So I might have enough juice left in my clock to make it back to the Vancouver yard and just shut down there, which is no big deal. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get these loads through. At least it's not like me being away from home for weeks at a time, you know? It's just one day out. The only downside to that, if I don't get home tonight and I have to shut down somewhere else, that pulls me away from the other commitments that I've made in my personal life for that following morning or that following night. So like if I had planned to have dinner with my family, well, I'm not making it back in time to have dinner with my family. Or like I told you guys in the last video, if you guys didn't watch the last video, I pretty much started going local, and I started going to the gym every day. So with me shutting down in the truck in Vancouver, I don't know if I have the opportunity to go to the gym at all, unless there's like one of my gyms around the area. I could probably just Uber over there or something. I don't know. If that's the case, I probably might do that, but I highly doubt it. Or I gotta talk to my safety manager, Jaskarn, like go to the Vancouver yard, drop the trailer there, and just PC over to the gym, work out, and then PC back to the yard. And for those of you that don't know what PC is personal conveyance. I gotta see if that's a justifiable thing that I could do to get to the gym and get back. I don't know, there's a lot of nuances here and there when it comes to using personal conveyance and using your truck for personal travel. I personally haven't done it before, so this will definitely be a learning opportunity for me if I have to do it. So one thing that I wanted to talk about in today's video, guys, is pay. I guess pay is just the most sought after topic when it comes to rookies getting into the truck driving industry, because they want to know where they can make the most cheddar. What I'm about to say is strictly just my opinion, and I'm not saying that this is what everybody should do. This is just how I personally feel about it. So take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to take it as direct advice to you and what you should do. This is just what I think. So as you guys know, I used to work for the Orange Company back when I first got my CDL. I knew that the pay wasn't going to be the best. I'm just being transparent with you guys. I knew the pay was not going to be the best. What my main goal was to get as much experience as I could with the mega carrier or any trucking company to just learn the actual driver aspect. So maintaining a lane, driving down the highway, planning routes, backing your truck, dealing with shipping and receiving offices, how to check in at a security gate, you know, all of those little nuances and stuff. Like if you get a hiccup on the road, like a tire blows out or something mechanical goes wrong, how are you going to handle it? I think all of these things factor into developing an awesome skill set of being a fantastic professional driver. What I want to tell you guys, and what I think that people should start considering when looking for their first trucking job, is consider the experience. Consider what the company can offer you in a sense of what resources they'll provide you when you're working for them and wanting to learn. I think too many people are way too focused on chasing the top dollar, not even considering the aspect of, you know, will this company teach me everything that I need to know and work with me to develop me into the best driver that I could possibly be. And so when looking for these companies, man, take that into consideration. Take their learning resources, their education, their training into consideration when you get into this industry, instead of asking the same question that everybody else is asking. Oh, how much does that company pay? What do your paychecks look like every week? How much do you make on a monthly basis? Like, sure, I totally understand that's a very important question to ask, because you want to know, can I provide for my family, and will I be able to make a little bit more money than I was making before, because I made such a big investment into going to CDL school to become a professional driver. I totally understand that. But in your first year of being a truck driver, you should genuinely just focus on being the best you can, being a sponge and absorbing all the material that you can to learn how to be the best driver that you can be. That way, when it comes time for you to chase the cheese, you'll have the skill set, the knowledge that all these other high-paying companies are looking for in the next driver that they hire. That's pretty much my opinion with everything. And I know a lot of people that are starting off and haven't started with their first job yet, they hear how much these other truck drivers are making, and then when they find out how much rookie truck drivers make with these mega carriers, they automatically get discouraged and say, you know what, I thought truck drivers make way more money. They do. They make pretty good money. They make pretty decent money once you get the experience, though. Once you get the experience to work for these companies that pay more, that's when you'll start making more bread. So that's why I say it's extremely important to just learn as much as you can within your first year. After your first year, once you've learned as much as you possibly could in your first year, go ahead and chase that cheddar. Obtain that grain. Now that I've got that off the table, let's go ahead and talk about my pay when I was with the Orange Company. So with the Orange Company, I was making an okay amount on a weekly basis. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible, okay? There's a lot of factors that people will use to justify why the pay was not enough. And those factors may be like, oh, you're away from home for this many weeks, you spend this many hours driving per day. I totally get that. And I'm not even considering the hourly rate that you'd potentially be making. Like if you take your entire paycheck and divide it by how many hours you work for that week, that's not what I'm considering at all. I'm just telling you the pay that I had flat out. So on a weekly basis, the amount of money that I was making while I was with the Orange Company ranged anywhere from $800 to $1,100 a week. And that was being out for weeks at a time. So that amount of money, I don't want you guys to compare yourselves to potentially earning that much money, because everybody will have a different experience depending on what account you're on. Are you regional? Are you OTR? Are you a resident of a state that requires the company to pay you an hourly rate on top of your mileage rate? So me being a Washington resident, Schneider actually had to pay me for my on-duty time. It wasn't much, but I got paid $12 an hour, and by the mileage, I got paid 36 cents per mile. I would average anywhere from 2,300 to 2,700 miles on a weekly basis, which is why those paychecks varied so much. It really just depended if I was at a live load or live unload that took forever and ate up my clock, or if there was something that just didn't work out with a drop-in hook that I was supposed to pick up and I ended up getting rerouted somewhere else. There's a lot of variables involved with the volatility of your paycheck, but that's what it was for me. It ranged anywhere from $800 to $1,100 a week. I haven't done the math in a while, so this information might be wrong, but the total amount of money that I made in my first month with the Orange Company, I made a little over $3,000 for the month. But I will tell you this, while I was with that company, I did learn a lot. I learned a lot of stuff from that company that I take with me today with this new company that I'm with. And so, just to make myself feel better about that kind of pay, I pretty much justified that, hey, you know what? I'm learning a heck of a lot right now. You know, knowledge is irreplaceable. And so getting that knowledge, getting that experience definitely made it a little worth it. Now again, keep in mind that, again, whatever account you're on definitely affects what your paycheck looks like. Like I know some guys that were regional instead of 11 Western OTR like what I was doing, and they were only making like $500 to $700 a week. And there's also a couple of people that I know that did regional. Like for example, I have a couple of buddies that I went to CDL school with that currently still work with the Orange Company, but in a different division. So they do the entire Midwest and East Coast, and they are tankers. They do hazmat tanker. And since CDL school, we always promised each other that we would tell each other how much we're currently getting paid at our different positions and our different jobs, just so we could get a full understanding of, you know, what the trucking industry looks like as a beginner company driver. And as tanker hazmat drivers, they were pulling in anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a week. And that's with them running their tails off. And then when I talked to a couple of people that I was in orientation with, they were on a specific account up in the Pacific Northwest that dealt with, I think, like doors and windows and stuff like that. But they were getting roughly 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week, and their paychecks reflected that. And the cool thing is for them, they were home weekly because of the fact that it was almost like a local regional account where you'd be out for the entire week, and then you do your 34-hour reset at home. And so, yeah, like I said, take that into consideration that not everybody is going to get paid the same amount. It's always going to be different. It depends on who your dispatch is, what account you're on, what state you live in, because of the fact that there's labor laws, like hourly rate laws that some states have, like California and Washington have that hourly rate law that the carriers are legally supposed to be paying you. And now I know everybody's going to ask the question, well, how much are you making at your job now, Tiki? How much does your company pay you? I don't know if the owner of the company wants me talking about my pay rate at all. I mean, you can literally call my company and ask them how much they pay on a mileage basis. But I'll give you a rough estimate of what I'm making on a weekly basis. I'm essentially almost getting paid double what I was making at the Orange Company. So the only reason I'm telling you guys this is because I know a lot of you are pretty much worried about how your financials are going to work when you get into the industry. You guys really want to know like what the capabilities are of what you can make. And so I feel like I wanted to tell you guys so you don't have to worry as much, and you get a general idea of how much you guys will be making when you get out there. I know there's a bunch of people out there that make way more money with what they're doing. I know there's some local runner guys that make like $2 to $3 grand a week. Some guys that are OTR that are making $2 to $3 grand a week out there with the small companies that they work with. It definitely varies with what company you go with what accounts are near you where you live, if you plan on being out for 1 week and being regional. And there's so many variables that you can't just base your own potential income off of what somebody else is making, because it's always going to be different, man. But yeah, there you have it. That's what my pay looked like when I was with the orange company, what others have told me they made, and the ballpark of what I make at the current company that I'm at. And I know those of you who are new and just barely joining this journey that haven't watched my previous videos to see, you guys are probably going to be rushing to the comment section and asking, what company do you work for, Tiki? I work for Deluxe. You guys can see that video on my channel. I announce what company I work with and how to apply. As of right now, I don't know if we're currently hiring, but we are taking applications to keep a list of people that are ready for when we get more trucks. We are getting more trucks later on this year. We do get them periodically, and so we're always getting new drivers pretty much every single month. So if you guys are interested in applying, go ahead and hit the Instagram link in the description below. You guys can see the Instagram for the company that I work for, and they have contact information there for applying. You guys can go ahead and call and ask what you could potentially make with the amount of experience that you have. That way you can get a better understanding of what your potential mileage rate would be. But like I said before, don't base your future potential pay with what I allegedly make on a weekly basis. Everybody's different, man. And here's the thing, before you guys go willy-nilly and start applying and you know, asking questions about my company, the company that I work for does require experience. So if you do not have experience, it is not likely that they will hire you. They will require you to get some experience before coming to the company. I just figured that I'd put that out there because of the fact that their insurance company, I believe, does not insure drivers that have lack of experience. So going back to what I was originally saying, where you should start if you haven't driven a truck before or you haven't worked for a trucking company before, go out there and look for a company that you feel like will teach you everything that you do need to know. And stick through it for at least 6 months to a year, get as much experience as you can, and then you can start applying to small companies like the one that I'm with right now. Also, I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to say like, oh, I make good money. I'm rich from driving trucks. I know there's some people out there that can misconstrue this kind of video for assuming that I'm trying to brag about how much I make. I know that there's people that make way more money than me, okay? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just giving you guys a baseline or a rough estimate of, you know, how much I kind of make. And the fact of the matter is, the reason I'm driving right now is so I can learn as much as I can before I go owner-op and potentially run my own fleet. I just want to remind you guys that's my long-term goal, and I want to learn as much as I can about being out on the road, so that way when it does come time for me to be an owner-op or have a fleet of drivers, and one of my drivers out there needs help, I'll be able to provide them with an answer because I could have potentially dealt with the same issues that they may potentially run into. You know, I just feel like that's my approach to things, and I feel like for me personally, that's the best way that I'm going to be able to provide for any future drivers that I employ when I start running a fleet. It's kind of like that situation when you're working at a job and someone gets hired from outside of the company to become your manager. They have no experience with what you are personally doing. They don't know the flow of the process that you guys do things at your warehouse or store or manufacturing plant or office or what have you. And they're sitting there trying to tell you how to do your job when they haven't done your job personally. That's kind of where I'm getting at, why I want to be on the road for a little bit, or at least a couple years, before I start telling other people how to drive their trucks. Because if I'm out here on the road and learning the way things are going, I'll be able to get a firm grasp of, you know, what my drivers will potentially be going through in the future when they start driving for me. It just seems like there's a lot of people that are out there that are rushing to be the boss man without first understanding how the worker man is. I just want to make sure everything is as good as it gets, so that way my drivers, my employees, and my people and my team are well taken care of. Anyways, y'all, we're about 3 hours away from our delivery location in Lebanon, Oregon. It's gonna be about 7 o'clock by the time I get there. I feel like I've done enough talking, so I'll see you guys once we get to Lebanon. All right, y'all, here we are in Lebanon. the Lowe's distribution center. This is a regional, so I think this deals with the entire West Coast maybe. It was a pretty long drive. Very boring drive. Not really long, it was just 4 hours. From doing local all the time, it gets kind of boring to do longer drives. I think that's the downside of doing local, is that once I go back to doing like regional OTR stuff, it's gonna be a little rough on me when it comes to doing long drives. But hey, you pick and choose your battles, right? Okay, so let's set these tandems really quick. All right. They're a little rusty right now, so I have to pull as much as I can without breaking it. There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check in. The guard shack's right there. I haven't actually tried to stick my GoPro on while talking to someone at a guard shack, but I know some people don't appreciate that. So out of respect for the security guards, you know, I don't even have the GoPro on my head. But let's see. Stop here, apply brake, move forward when signaled. They're really strict here, very cut and dry. But all right, I'll check in with you guys here in a little bit. Alrighty, so here we are. We're about to drop this trailer. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but my tandems are slid back, and when my tandems are slid back, my backing is very subpar. So I apologize ahead of time for the low quality backing. All right, here, this is where they want me. 1063. I honestly probably didn't even need to set up like this with how much room I have on the other side. Not bad, Chief. Not bad. Okay, I think we're good. I got a lot of space on this side because I've got an empty block right here, and I'm within the lane, or line. So I think we are solid. Let's double check. Yeah. Our landing gear is on top of the concrete slab. I think we're good to roll. Proud of myself. I backed in, no pull-ups, with the tandem slid back. What an achievement. You guys might not think it's a great achievement, but I'm happy with myself. And we're good to go. Drop this trailer. Okay, so 8753 is where our empty trailer's at. And she said that it would be here on the left side. So we're at 8700 right here. That means we've got 53 slots to go. What? That's a sick Legend trailer. What? Oh, that is cool. I wish I was taking that. Oh, it's on the other side. You got the Honor Our Heroes design on the side there. That is so cool. I've never seen that. I should talk to Happy, the owner of this company, or Deluxe, the owner of Deluxe, and have him make a trailer like that. That would be pretty cool. 8750, 51, 52, and I see that red skirt. That's our Deluxe trailer, baby. Boom. Yeah, we're good. There we go. I really don't like smashing the kingpin into the fifth wheel, because I feel like over time that causes a lot of damage. I can only imagine how expensive it is to replace a fifth wheel. So let's check our kingpin and lockjaw. Boom. Yep, we're good to go. Okay. Brake lights work, ID lights work, turn signals work. And now how about this turn signal on the side here? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And let's just make sure that we're empty. But you guys might be wondering, why am I opening the door? That's because there's a load strap in here. And whenever I see load straps, I take them. You never know when you're gonna need extra load straps. Okay, let's get it, ladies and gents. You guys must be wondering why I just got so excited that there was extra load straps in there. First of all, some of you might be thinking, why are you stealing load straps? Well, they were in my company's trailer. All of the straps that I use are for my company's loads, so I think it's 100% justifiable to take these straps because I'm using them for our loads, so I'm not stealing them. But there was a time several weeks ago when I was doing a live load and they were like, hey, do you have any straps? And I didn't have any straps. I was kind of screwed. And they said, yo, we need like 3 straps to secure this load. I forgot what the product was exactly, but they were heavy. But they were all stacked in pallets and they're really light boxes, so that means the load would be able to shift at ease. You know, I would just be going up a hill and all the load would fall off the pallets, guaranteed. Without load straps, they're like, either you drop the trailer here and bobtail to the nearest truck stop, which is like down the street, and buy some load straps, or find somebody else that has load straps. I ended up dropping the trailer and going down the street really quick to get to the truck stop to buy load straps. I think those load straps were like $25 to $30 at that truck stop, but I bought 3 of them. I can't remember exactly how much I paid, but yeah, those load straps came out of my pocket. That was my fault because I didn't prepare and have load straps on deck. So now whenever I open up an empty to check if an empty is truly an empty and there's load straps in there, oh man, you better believe I'm gonna take the load straps, man. But all right, we got an empty on the back now. I'm going to check out at the security shack, and then I'm gonna call dispatch and see where they want me to go next. They don't have a load in my assignments right now, so the only thing that I'm gonna assume is plan A, which they told me originally I would be picking up an empty and just going back to Lakewood and dropping this empty off at Lakewood, and then bobtailing home for the night. So we've got a little under 5 hours left on our drive clock, and it takes about 4 hours and 20 minutes from this location to get back to Lakewood. So we should be making it just fine. But I just got to make sure that they want me to roll empty all the way back and not, you know, pick up a load somewhere. If I do have to pick up a load somewhere though, oh, I don't have enough time to get home for sure. So I would be spending the night in the truck. Anyway, like I was saying, let me go ahead and check out really quick, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit. So we are all checked out. We just gotta slide these sick tandies forward. All right. Thought this would have been air actuated. Alrighty, tandems were slid. I contacted dispatch and they said they just want me to take this empty trailer, drop it off in Lakewood, and then bobtail home. So we've got 4 hours and 25 minutes left on the clock, and we got a 4-hour drive ahead of us to Lakewood. So that leaves us 25 minutes to drop the trailer and bobtail home. And I live about want to say 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes away from that Lakewood drop location. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to make it home just fine. Worst case scenario, I think since I'm headed home and I'm not doing anything in means of advancement for taking a load closer to where it needs to be delivered, so I think it's legal for me to use PC to get the rest of the way home. We're definitely going to have to look into that, but I think we'll make it just fine. I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think we've got enough time on our clock to drop this loaded trailer and just head home. But alright, it is nighttime now. It's 9 p.m. I'm not going to get home until like 1 a.m. And for some reason, at this time of day, the GoPro doesn't pick up footage very well. I will see you guys once I get to the Lakewood location for when I drop this trailer and show y'all me backing, being very tired, back in the trailer into that spot. I'll see you guys in a little bit. And 4 hours later, we are finally here in the beautiful city of Lakewood. Finally ready to drop off this trailer. That was kind of an exhausting drive, to be honest. I don't really like driving when it's dark outside because it makes me feel a little tired. But good news is we made it here nice and safe. All right, y'all, I'm gonna check in with the security guard, get this empty trailer checked in, and we're gonna drop it off. I got it all checked in. I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but in the last video I was talking about a security guard here that is a subscriber to the channel. He's actually the one working right now, so yeah, good talking to you, bro. It's really cool seeing subscribers out in public, honestly. I enjoy it so much. But anyway, let's get this trailer parked. Gonna back her in right here. Honestly, I could have just pulled straight and do a straight back, but it's the last one of the day, last backing of the day. I like a little challenge every now and then, and for some reason my trailer's not even going in the hole. Oh man, this is a replay of last video where I was tired trying to back a trailer and Jesus. All right, you know what, I'm gonna cheat. I'm doing this straight back. Sorry guys, I'm extremely not tired. I'm pretty exhausted, so oh, how embarrassing. Bro, Mr. Security Guard, that's a subscriber. I know you're watching me from the guard shack and making fun of me, bro. Alright, let's go ahead and disconnect from this trailer. We've got about 40 minutes left on our 14-hour clock, so we don't have much time at all. We just need to drop this trailer and get out of here and go home. Okie dokie. There we go. All right, so we have the trailer ready to get uncoupled, landing gears down, release arm is disconnected, locking jaw is no longer on the kingpin, air hoses and electric line is completely disconnected. All we got to do is pull away from the trailer, head out the exit and head home. So as you guys know, that means that this is the end of the video. I think all the videos from here on out are going to be pretty short. That way we can upload on a more consistent basis. I do plan on releasing longer videos here and there. So if you like the long videos, if you guys are here because of the long videos, don't fret, because I still plan on uploading those long videos every now and then. But anyways, y'all, if you guys like this video or found any value from this video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions or want to discuss anything that happened in today's video, go ahead and hit the comment section down below. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Anyways, y'all, that is all the time we have for tonight. If you guys made it to the end of the video, y'all are true champs. Alrighty, y'all, you know what time it is. Your boy Tiki is out. Peace.